we can begin.
Awesome.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Grimdark therapy session. I'm joined by the usual suspects, North of Northern Exile and Maka of the
Hello.
Outer Circle.
And it is therapy this
Wait.
time around. It is therapy because that was a rough night, ladies and gents. That was a rough night. If you like anything but things colored blue, that was rough.
Yeah, I have the...
I don't have a clue. I actually don't have the least clue what has come out. I've gone out of my way, so I'm the odd one out, to not see anything, to the point where when people were talking about it, I left chats, and where people have shared screenshots, I haven't looked at them. So it's all new to me.
Yeah, I think that'll make things kind of compelling because you can learn in real time with anyone who's watching this upload, and you can share and have a shared experience with them. Do you guys think it's worth doing at least for North and myself, to do a winners and losers, favorite pick, least pick before we start?
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be objective. It can be subjective. It can be entirely personal if you like.
I mean, is there a way for Maka to have them up in front of him whilst we discuss them? I suppose there is. To just have them.
Yeah. I can. As you discuss them, I can obviously put two and two together because you've sent me a link to look at Kaifa, so I can open that link up and then just sort of go, oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, we don't have to dwell on it too long, just to sort of wet the whistle of where things are headed.
Shall we go chronologically?
Sure. So, my...
Darkwater first, I think.
The Warhammer Quest, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll have it up, and then this will be what the viewers see as well, and we can just take it in from... We'll just go through them. So, for me, the Darkwater stuff was probably the highlight for some of the highlights for models, just in terms of awesome, classic feeling fantasy models.
Yeah, I weirdly I was most excited about this.
Which is weird because they started with it, so that was like their.
Well, here's the other thing, and I was thinking this when I was watching it. For other games, they said, especially Horus Heresy stuff, they were saying, you can get these separately, by the way, if you want them. They're going to be available on their own, and it'll be fine. These were not advertised as that. It was literally, if you want these models, then you have to get this game that you might not want. And they just so happen to be some of the best fantasy models that they brought out recently. So, not quite happy with that, especially if you're a Nurgle fan. If you're a Nurgle fan, there's a lot of cool stuff in here that you will want.
Mm-hmm.
That Gelgus Plus guy, the Prince of Swords, he's going to be really wanted by a lot of people. And Morgoth the Cleaver 2, I've been waiting for a Nurgle model with a big fat arm for a long time. Something like Left 4 Dead, that kind of a thing. Like really big arms and stuff. So I'm not as impressed with that. I think that's a bit of a shady thing to do. I have no compunction about saying these will probably be released on their own eventually, but I think it's a Games Workshop staple that, yes, if you want these now, you're going to have to pay us a lot more money. This Darkwater set, they're not saying how much it's going to be, but I'm thinking upwards of 120, 130 pounds. Easy.
There's
easy
quite
money.
A lot in here.
There is. But the problem is, I don't want it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I want 10% of it. This is you're getting a lot of stuff, right? But the actual people who want all of the stuff are people who want to play this game, right? Or who are just absolute rabid collectors. Everybody else you see is let's say you see Kelthanor, the Forest Prince. Oh, that's cool. Centaur guy. Cool. Awesome. And I quite like the Demon Prince. Cool. I want those two models. Yeah, 130 quid, please. That kind of a thing. I don't need the rest. The rest of it's going to sit on your shelf and not do anything. I want that Knight guy, Ed Mark. Think he's cool. I want Bren Tireless. Think he's pretty cool. She's pretty cool. And I want the Dwarf. Those are the three that I really liked. Really like those models. But I'm not paying for a game that I'm never going to play for 3 models.
And all the accompanying boards and booklets and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Do you know
I
offhand... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, and I love the hobby, and I probably would play this game with my missus and a few friends. But like games like Darkwater, like Warhammer Quest, you're gonna play once in what, a month, maybe two. You know, you're not gonna get. And I suppose what they're saying is then you can add these guys to your armies if you want, so it's more value on top of that, and it's all a matter of perspective. But for me, they could have solved all of this by saying, okay, yeah, each of these will be in their own little box too, so you can buy them separately if you want. But this is an awesome game, and I really do recommend you go out and get the game itself. And you know, it wouldn't have cost them anything to do that. And it's a shame that they're basically price locked behind a massive box that no one will really want.
It is a bit of a bummer because the models are really nice. But what I was going to ask is, do you, North or Mac, know offhand, do the Warhammer Quest, especially the heroes, do they eventually go out of the FOMO box? They just, after a long period of
Some
time?
of them do, some of them don't. Some of them do, some of them don't. The Nurgle stuff will definitely be in the Battle Tome. I'm guessing they're not going to bring up I think called Blight Templars and then just leave them.
Right.
You know, so I think they'll be in the Battle Tome, but it depends. It really does depend on what they feel like doing. This is the problem with box sets like this. You're kind of beholden to what Games Workshop's whims are, and they didn't say anything in the reveal of when or how these guys are going to be released on their own, which leads me to believe they're probably not going to be, or at least one or two might be, but the rest are going to be behind the box. We saw it with the old Warhammer Quest 2. A lot of that stuff is in the box. It's special to you. And because you have one quest, like your little reward, that you get these bottles and nobody else can get them. So, yeah, we'll see. Basically, we'll see. But the Nurgle stuff definitely, I think, will be in the Battle Tome.
Anything to add on this one, Maka? What do you feel?
No. Models are nice. Yeah, that's. I'd be lying if I said anything else.
I like Gelgis a lot.
It looks like a cozy game. It looks like a good game. I'm not going to besmirch them bringing out games because I like board games and I like the book. I don't know if you saw the book on the stream, but that book, when I first saw that, I thought, oh no, because that book's going to be like bent down the middle, so you've got to position your models, sort of a thing. You know,
okay.
on this, you know, but it's flat. It is flat. It's literally, they opened it up and it is completely flat. It's all cardboard. It's not like paper or anything.
I think there's a picture of it here. Yeah, it looks like
there is.
Opens up fairly flat. That is cool.
All right.
It is cool.
So,
yeah.
Okay, I like the giant pus arm with the axe. But the rune, the snail shell rune carved into it, that's lame. Little features like that take away from it. For me, for some people, they'll be like, that adds to it. For me, that takes away. It detracts from the model because it's a distraction that makes no sense being there. You know, like it's enough that you have. Yeah. It's enough that you have like all the other Nurgle iconography, like this branding of things, like, you know, like Apple icon, you know, like Apple phones on things. I find it tacky, but that's personal taste. Same with the Cankerborn. They look awesome, but then they've got those random rocks sticking out of them with the same snail shell, and it's like, just leave that off. They're better with it off.
They did explain
You're overloading it. Don't care.
That? Yeah. Okay,
no.
Cool.
I don't care. That's
okay.
It's a taste thing, right? Because it's like they're only explaining something that they added.
Yeah. It should be ideally, it would be self-explanatory. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. If you've got to tell me why it has all these features and stuff, it's like, well, you're justifying why it's there.
Yeah.
And if I took it away from the model, would you care? The answer is no. Then it probably doesn't need to be there.
That's true.
So I look at those. I'm like, yeah, fine. The Blight Templars, that just looks like Putrid Blight Kings. The problem with Putrid Blight Kings, though, is they're already like a big 40 mil based elite heavy unit. So what are these?
Oh yeah,
they're that, but more.
In my head, I confused them. I thought they were just new sculpts of the same unit kind of thing. But yeah, they are different.
Yeah, but them, I have no real complaints at all. And if people think I'm being picky, I'm allowed to be. It's my taste that we're talking about.
Well, no, that's the whole point. That's the whole point.
The pox wretches with the snail shell motif. The snail shell motif doubly annoys me because it's too zinchy. You know, with the Ouroboros and and the Ouroboros, it's like stick to your. Again, you can overdo it very easily with details because you're using CAD. It's so easy to over stylize things when you're designing things in the computer.
Oh yeah, when you can.
And someone's probably sitting there going, "Our players are dumb, and they won't know that these are Nurgle unless you put 18 icons of Nurgle on there."
I think that's the main problem, though, isn't it? You can't put these in your wider Nurgle army because they're so attached to Darkwater. So they said all of these designs are because these dudes have risen up from this Gyran life temple. Do you know what I mean? So they've corrupted it, and so the Cankerborn, they're literally parts of a Gyran life temple that have just been erupted into chaos manifestations and things. So that's, to me, that's cool storytelling. That's just my taste. I think, okay, I can see visual storytelling on the model. That's pretty cool. But it also means I can't really use it in my wider Nurgle army without breaking the cohesion of what it looks like. Do you know what I mean?
It was pretty good that they had a talented blacksmith who could make them all this equipment and you know, carve all this iconography into it. That was pretty handy.
Yeah, just had it lying around.
I guess they're probably afraid of it running the risk if they make it too rotted of like blending in with like the undead and the ghouls range.
Fair.
Like the Strigoi and that. So they probably thought, oh, we need to give them like some kind of style to move away from that. And I don't know. It's not bad. It's just, I think if I was doing it from the ground up, I'd have chosen different stylistic takes. The Pestigors, yep, they're fine. Totally fine. That's the level of iconography I want to be seeing. Just, you know, the little Nurgle fly symbols and...
It doesn't appear to be on every model either. It's just here or there. Yep, I'm with you.
Yep. The Maya Kelpies is... To me, that's wrong. That's more like elementals than saying like, oh, these are because of the corrupted land. And, you know, it's like, nah, you're broaching on either, like, remember the old incarnate elemental of Wilds or whatever? The one that was like the deer skull on like a giant sort of werewolf-like body? The old 4-job model?
Yeah.
By any chance, the incarnative elementals? Mm-hmm. And it reminds me of that. It's like, no, that's not Nurgle. The whole like dead reindeer meets dogs type thing. Too undead looking.
Oh,
too like beast magic.
An answer to Mike, Kaifa's question just came up there. I did a bit of reading. All of these will be in the Maggotkin of Nurgle battle tome. So yeah, the Nurgle stuff is all in the battle tome.
Oh, that's good to clarify. Good looking out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't hate it. I'm just like, you probably could have done something else with that.
Yeah, I'm with... I can see that point. Like, if you took these Mire Kelpies and just put them in your Grand Alliance Death Army, you'd think, oh yeah, that fits right in. That's, you know... Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they remind me of like the old Fen Beast from like Albion days. It's hard to put a finger on. Like, you could see these being in like Nighthaunt.
Yeah, that's sort of where I would.
Yeah, whereas like if it was Nurgle, it should be like a pustulous Chaos Hound, like a Beastigore version of a Chaos Hound or a Razorgore or something like that.
Like if you played a
it would make more sense.
Of which faction does this belong to? You might more often than not end up saying
something else. Yeah. So not bad. I think the models are lovely. Just stylistic choices I wouldn't have personally gone with. That, oddly enough, detract from the miniatures, not adding to them. Especially if someone doesn't know the story of this or forgets the story over time and looks back on these in 20 years. I can look back on models that are 20 years old, in Chaos, and know exactly what the story it's trying to tell me is. These, I don't think will do that. You'll just be there like, oh, that's weird. Why they got like a rock sticking out of them? That's an odd design choice. It's not... If you have to explain the story to me, it's probably not a good story. But that's my taste, my personal taste.
No, I'm with you. Yeah.
Shall we move over to the next article?
Sure.
Yeah,
I
what's
think
next?
Maggotkin is the actual Maggotkin dudes. More Nurgle.
I think I have the same order set up here. Perfect. So I think it's a whole range, not a whole range refresh, but a range expansion. Since their original set from, I think, the start of Age of Sigmar, right? So it's been a while now. But this first guy, Festus, I like it. It's gross. I like it. It's like,
you like it? Interesting.
Well, in the way where you're like the way you like a great unclean one. I'm like, oh, okay, interesting model.
Well, it's Nurgle. There's no excuse to say it's there's not, exactly what this
though?
belongs to.
I look at that and I think you took Festus, Tamakan, Epidemius, and the Horticulus Slimix, put them all in a corporate blender, and then this is what got spat out the other side.
There's definitely that. How do you pronounce
it? It's like Horticulus's snail,
right?
And Bubulos Tamakan's toad dragon, and blend together. That's a toad dragon's head and sort of body shape, but on that snail slug body, with like the way he's got the saddle on the back is like, the way Horticulus Slimex's saddle is on the back of the snail, but he's sitting on it like Epidemius would, and it's got like the giant maggot tentacle coming out the stomach, which is like the maggot of Tamakan. But you're telling me it's Festus the Leech Lord, and to try and like harken back to that, you have a slightly rotting corpse hanging. No, it doesn't work for me at all.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's too far from what Festus was. This is too. It's got to be. Right. Corporate says it's got to be 60% different. And it's like you've just smashed and smushed all these different Nurgle characters together.
I can appreciate that. I don't have that touch point to reference to the original.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to detract from you guys. Do you like it? No judgment at all.
I like the energy. Such a vague, such a vague thing to say, but I like the general despair and vibe. I guess it's very ethereal kind of.
I like it. I think it's I get what you're saying, and that it's a mashup of all these characters, but this is also Age of Sigmar, so a lot of those characters are dead, unfortunately, and Games Workshop are trying to shorten down the roster so they can make more things. And I guess if you're looking at why don't we blend Temakan and all these other people, Epidemius, into a single character, this is what you'd come up with. So it depends what you're looking for. Like I know you're looking at it from a hey, I like the old world, and I like these old characters point of view, and I'm in that case as well. I believe they should just be back, or maybe just do more of them for the old world. But if you're gonna do it, this is a really good model. I can't say it isn't. I really like this model. It's disgusting in a good way.
Yeah, that's kind of my leanings as well. It's just grossing me out.
If this was not Festus, or if you slightly tweaked it and called it Epidemius, I'd be down for it.
Well, my favourite is the Sloven Knights of this set.
Yeah, let's carry on.
Because these poor horses, man.
these poor horses. Gross, yeah.
Like, they look like they have been put through the ringer. Yeah, I mean, what more can I say?
Yeah,
they look cool.
That third
they're
one.
Nurgle Knights,
I'd change two things. They're really nice, and I would change two things to make them perfect. Mm-hmm. They got like little coral reefs again coming out of their head, like 40k Nurgle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, get rid
Bad detail, never looks good. Get rid of it. The other thing I would change is the weapons. I don't mind the third one with like the flail type thing.
Yeah.
I love the idea of like peasant weapons with Nurgle, so like scythes and flails. Look
Yeah, they
really
should be
good.
using axes and swords. It should be like a farmer's utensil, like a reaper. You know, like they don't all have to have like sides, but yeah, you're right. Pitchforks, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, I get it.
Also, that very first horse, is that hitting like its G spot or something? Because it looks like it's like, ooh.
To me, it looks like it's coughing. It's like
it's
because of the way its throat is distended. It looks like it's coughing.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
one
no,
of my favorite.
other than that, like, I really like them. I like that they've got like the cloaks over the top of the armor. I think it works well here. A stylistic choice. The horses themselves being like this horribly mutated, like around the mouth. That very much like that other Nurgle character, the Nurgle Lord on the demonic mount. Yep, I love those sort of touches.
I like how they're almost
they've
too
got-
small, the horses, you know? Like, these guys are huge.
Yes, that's good too. I think it might have been a bit much, but I wouldn't have minded seeing like some internal organs of the horses like dangling down the ground, like intestines or something. Because again, like you run the risk, not as badly as like other stuff, but of like those comparisons to the undead because of like can rates and that kind of thing, where again you have the horse and it's got like the robes over it. Whereas if you see the organs falling out suggests more decay than death.
Well, I'm gonna
So-
say, if you don't like the coral, Mackie, you're not gonna like the next models on the list of future Blight Kings.
Let's see.
Because they're yeah. I mean, there's coral. It's all there.
Oh, yeah. Blight Kings.
If there was a nautical theme to them, like if it was like they took, because you know how with like with many of the factions of Age of Sigmar are just taking a one-dimensional look at old world factions and just dialing in on that. So you know, like, oh, Slayers, let's turn that into a faction. Oh, Witch Elves, let's turn that into a faction. If they'd gone with like Gutrot Spume and fucked off Festus, gone Gutrot Spume and gone, we're gonna have like Nurgle Sea Pirates type theme, then the coral would make perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. Like a drowned sort of all bloated.
Yes.
Yeah, aesthetic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like these are bloated corpses rotting in the deeps, but Nurgle's kept them alive or something. You know, especially because they don't have like vampire pirates in Age of Sigmar. So you won't run into any comparisons there, and it would be a great, like, you can do something interesting thematically with that, right? Because you can have your pitchforks and your pestle weapons. You can also do things like tridents and, you know, nets and harpoons and things like that I think suit Nurgle quite well. So, like the ship's bell and it being a Nurgle's bell, like, come on, that's just waiting to be a model. You know, like a rotted old wooden armada makes perfect sense. Whereas these guys, it's like, well, why have they got coral of all things growing out of them? Like, just
because Nurgle
why?
is also death and life. That I think that's the end result of the thought process. It's just that.
Yeah, but coral doesn't strike me. Even barnacles, which is what you get on shipwrecks, doesn't really strike me as like these parasitic organisms. Like corals are beautiful.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, and I wouldn't even necessarily like it if they were all fungoid like some of the Plague Marines in 40k. So it's it's not the greatest design choice, I don't think, but
It's like if you remove that aspect from them,
like does this
pretty
first guy's silhouette benefit that much from the antlers? Or sorry, well, actually, how do you feel with the antlers? Because I think the antlers
I'm
are
fine
adding
with
a
the
lot
antlers.
to the silhouette, but
I'm fine with the antlers. They've clearly picked that as a design theme on everyone here.
for the Blight Kings, it's like their crown sort of thing. I can see the reasoning, but we're getting really picky about it. But yeah, I think that's what we're here for.
The old Blight Kings were better.
From memory, I can't recall. Like I confused them with the Blight Templars, even. So yeah. Not too much
Yeah,
meat
I
on
think
that.
the old Blight Kings were better. They suited the aesthetic more as like rotted knights, whereas these dudes just look like just a bunch of fat, stereotypical Alabaman Americans doing cosplay for the weekend.
Yep. I think
Yeah, they're okay. Like you could shave off the coral, and that would like a lot of my complaints here boils down to the coral, but I can't help what I like and what I don't like. And I think I've got a pretty strong opinion on what constitutes the correct design of a faction.
Yeah, I mean,
Rightly or
you're
wrongly.
sharing your rationale, right? So it's not. I think it comes down to preference.
And I think I'm consistent with that. And yeah, so I consider these a bit of a miss because it's like I can see the potential for greatness, you know, and it's like you just came so close, which is even more disappointing because it's like you were there, you were right there. So,
Shall we move on to the Rout Swords?
Okay. These look better. Oh
like
god,
that.
the second picture. What the hell is that?
I like that second guy, but the second picture.
The guy next to the battle standard bearer.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Maybe those are
those bells?
seals? No, not purity seal.
They look like bells. They do like cowbell. Needs.
Okay.
I got a fever, and the only prescription.
No, they are
is more
cowbells.
cowbell.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Weird design choice. But I think that's what they are. Must be. He's a bellman.
Just give him a bell on the end of a flail. It would have looked better.
I've got little to say because I not a Nurgle player, but if I was a Nurgle guy, I'd be like, you know what? If I'm going to be having knights in my army, foot knights, these are fine.
Yeah, I like the poses.
I'm a
and the
Nurgle
armor
player.
of
That's.
Yeah.
I am a Nurgle player, a Maggotkin player, unfortunately. You know what my problem is though? Partly, half my stuff is like Tamakan stuff that was put into Age of Sigmar, like Bile Trolls and Plague Ogres and the Glotkin and things like that. And if you go and put a lot of this stuff next to that early stuff, does not match, in my opinion. And I'm possibly being too unfair to it because I'm looking at it through that lens. Because you don't see much of these design elements on, well, anything other than these very models. So it's like doing a range refresh and going, this is the new style, like with Necrons, you know, in 5th edition Necrons.
Right.
But if you were still selling like 2nd edition Necrons alongside it, you'd go, oh, this is a bit tonally jarring.
Yeah. What's up with these ones? Is it a different
Yeah, and I think that's part of my problem.
different dynasty? What's going on here?
So if I seem overly negative, that's what I'm looking at it from. Because it's like, if I put these in an army next to, like, the Glotkin has, like, massive horns and stuff coming out of it. Like, it's a mutated body. No coral wreaths or anything like that. Nobody has this sort of coin-like chainmail, like scale mail stuff going on. Definitely nobody covered in cowbells. There's a lot less horns and this sort of really jagged, zigzaggy type horn. Most of the horns you have there are like just a single one coming out of foreheads a lot of the time, like echoing plague bearers. So it's I'm not calling it bad, like audience.
It is just
please bear with me.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's just different. You know,
that reasoning
it's
makes
unfamiliar.
perfect sense. I get that. If we're ready to move along, we have Pestigores.
Once again, no complaints.
Yeah, I thought these were neat. Like, gross and disturbing, but I thought they're good.
They got a lot of cheers from the Beastmen crowd. I will say that. Like, a lot of the Beastmen people were thinking, oh, thank fuck, we got something.
Like, these are
much like Zangors and Slangors, they seem to be able to get Beastmen right.
Like, horrific stuff here, man. Holy.
Yeah, but when you look at them, right? Yeah, okay, a couple of them have like a little bit of like the corally stuff coming out of their heads, but on the whole, you look at these and you go, they are not lacking, despite not having all of that extra shit on them that the Blight Kings and the Rot Swords had.
Yeah, well,
Which I think, again, is proof that, like, as a design element, those other ones kind of flubbed it.
I'm sorry, like, I just stumbled across a thing looking up Maggotkin and things like that. There's a guy on the island of Albion in the old world called King Macbeth, and I just love that.
Macbeth.
Just Macbeth. Like, literally spelled like you.
That's funny.
MC Death.
Has he got parachute pants?
No, it's a play on Macbeth, I think.
Right. Yeah, it must be. It must be.
Yes. Well, Vlad von Karstein's quote from him is, "I have a gift for you. Best not to refuse and repeat the tragedy of Macbeth." Just stupid ass Warhammer. I love it so much. Anyway, moving on. Sorry.
I think after that, it's just the battle tome itself. You got the, I don't know if it's new artwork or old artwork,
yep,
and I think
that's
they show
done.
that's it done. So let's jump to the next.
Right. Skip the animations, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, because
we're into Maka's realm of Cataphractii Terminators and Breacher Squads.
Yes, I definitely want you to give us your take, Maka.
On
these.
They got power armor proportions, which actually makes them look a bit too skinny.
Right.
Like when the original Cataphractii came out, they were very chonky, but that was considered a very good thing when they came out because they looked like they had a really good invulnerable save and were tanky.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not trying to I don't think this risks tilting you one way or another, but I felt like even the new Mark III is just they seem to have a desire to move away from the chonk that was Mark III and Cataphractii. Well, at least with
they seem to want to make it sleeker, don't they?
Yeah, and I don't like it.
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna go for that for Games Workshop here. These guys are going to be the Terminators for my new Space Marine force. I like sleek, and it's kind of like what Maka said before. I can't. It's my taste.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I can't really. The old Cataphractii looked fine, looked good. I love these. These guys look like they can run at you and run through a brick wall as well.
Yeah, I don't dislike them, but I
don't like they're slow and plodding anymore. These look more like Primaris.
Yeah, I mean, they're not. Yeah, they're not slow and plodding. No, I will say that. But
this looks like heavy intercessor armor is to power armor. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look like a Terminator, and I think part of that illusion is the head. In old Cataphractii, it was the eyes barely looking above that gorget, like you're really sunk into that armor. These, that head is like very distinctly like above the gorget of the armor. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like it that clearly is a helmet and a neck, and therefore like that ring of armor, that sort of flat piece that sits just below the neck armor, the gorget, it's sitting like down at nipple height now. Whereas before that was like just below your eye line. So the whole model now looks taller, which I think adds to that illusion of them.
I think you nailed it.
I'm not saying it's bad. Again, someone will be there in the comments. How can you not like this? This is the best model they've made since the last best model. But it's different. And kind of pointless, let's be honest. They're only range refreshing this when there's a shitload of other stuff that needs models just because money. Which is kind of sad. I'm just scrolling down because there's more pictures. I haven't looked at any of these. Power Fists are horribly miscaled. The Heavy Flamer looks rather anemic. And so does the autocannon, actually. The Reaper autocannon is very snub-nosed, like very short-barreled, which can be kind of cool, but it doesn't feel like it hits as hard when you do that. I like the trophy rack on the dude at the back, and his sort of pyramidal Thunderhammer is cool. Yeah, but those Power Fists are tiny. They just don't look like Power Fists. They're barely bigger than their normal hands.
Yeah, it wasn't. I think that is contributing to the sleeker, taller.
It doesn't help that the waist is so thin. Like that one with the Heavy Flamer, he looks like he's wearing a corset.
No. Don't say it.
Like, it is very thin in the waist.
You're
Too
not
thin for a
wrong.
Terminator. It's very Primaris proportioned.
Yeah, very heroic. Very, very kind of heroic proportions.
Yeah. I mean, my taste is heroic. My taste is like the one model I've always disliked is the watch captain, the watch master of the Death Watch. He's just standing there. You know, people are like, well, he's so stoic and he's so old. Yeah, stupid. Don't like it. Right, I like sweeping poses. I like running forwards. I like a guy who looks like he can just chew through you. If I was collecting, now I will say this on Macca's point. If I was collecting Iron Warriors, I would not collect these. They've done them a disservice by painting them in Iron Warriors colors because they don't look like Iron Warriors. These guys look like Emperor's Children, Cataphractii Terminators, to me.
These proportions look like Tartarus should look like.
Yes,
Like
yes.
the sleeked down.
More advanced.
These are too thin, too scrawny. They don't look like they can take a hit. They look like they're just in power armor with squared off shoulder pads.
The duelists. They look like the duelists rather than tanking a siege. Pouring them in again. They painted them in the wrong colors. If these were in purple or white scars,
I
no
think,
one would.
I think you're right,
anything.
North. They would hit
just be
much
like,
more.
Yeah.
But they can't.
And the armor just doesn't. Again, part of that scrawniness around the waist and that it makes it look like the armor is thin. Like you're seeing more of the body that's underneath it, right? But it's like when you wear armor, it makes you look a lot more squat and wide. Because
you're not adding height. You're adding.
Yeah, you add no height, but you add a lot of width when you wear armor. And I mean, if you strip these guys of armor, what would they look like? What their proportions be? Like, ignore the proportions of like Sat 9, which just clearly don't work. You can come up with all the headcanon you want; they're just shit. No, I don't care. I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Objectively, they are shitly proportioned. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes.
They look silly.
Is what it is. Yeah. Because they're literally twice the height of a fucking Marine, and you know, Marines still have knee joints. But yeah, I think that's if you strip these guys of armor, would they change height or width? No. So the armor's wrong.
That is a good way to frame it. Yeah, because
Still buying them.
yeah,
No, yeah, I don't want to take away anyone's enjoyment.
No, I'm kidding. I'm
I'm
kidding.
not saying they don't look. I'm saying they don't look cool.
Well, this is the
but
thing.
when I think-
I wouldn't buy them for Iron Warriors. I wouldn't buy them for Iron Warriors. They've done the wrong thing. Like, why are they in Iron Warriors colors? These are not Iron Warriors Terminators. They are.
you want that slow
they are-
plotting.
Well,
bulk.
remember these are described as in Horus Heresy, right? For the first 10 years of the game, more. Cataphractii are the slow pointing. Like, literally, they had the real slow and purposeful. Like, you are so slow and clunky and chonky in this armor, you could not overwatch when you got charged. You couldn't even pull your bolt gun up in time to fire off a volley at the person charging you. But when they hit you, it was like, 4 up invul saves. You know, 50% of the wounds I'm ignoring. Like it was sturdy resilience. And these, like I said, if this was Tartarus, I'd be like, oh, whatever. You know, it's Mark IV power armor and then some. Awesome. This doesn't feel like that.
No,
This
I'm
just
with you on
looks. Yeah, it just.
I
Looks
think
like
it says
power
it all
armor.
that I'm going to be using these in 40k. I think that says it all. That should say it all. Like I'm using them in the new project for next year. The new chapter I'm making up, small one, but these will be the Terminator contingent, the 5 of them. That says it all, really. These are supposed to be Horus Heresy and Iron Warrior Cataphractii at that. You know, they're supposed to be big, heavy duty dudes, and I'm going to be using them in 40k as like, you know, more mobile Terminators. I think these look less stocky than the new Terminators. You know, so.
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah. The GW or the 40k new Terminators are thick. Like they look.
But in that shows you Macca's point, though, doesn't it? Because
does.
like I'm using them in 40k. I'm going, I'm buying these. They're awesome. They're right up my alley. But they're not Cataphractii Terminators, though. They're not. They don't look like them. They don't. You know. They don't look like they can move like them. They're just cool. You know. They're just cool looking sleek Terminators. You know?
The first person that like draws these without their armor, they're all going to look like Slender Man.
Yeah.
All right, breaches are next, and yep, perfect.
No complaints.
For the new Mark III, this exactly fits that aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing negative to say about them. They look just what you'd expect.
Yep, I like them. And these do look like Iron Warriors, thankfully. They look like Iron Warriors.
Yep.
Or Imperial Fists, if you want to go down that road.
I like a lot. So people are sitting there right now going, nothing makes Macca happy. No, it's nail an established aesthetic. That's all I ask. The helmets having the flat faceplates without the grill slots harkens back to the old style of breeches with it's like they've got an extra armor plate over the top of their helmet.
Yeah.
Yep, that works for me.
And even then,
the shield design is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
And I'm fine with this. Maybe they could have added one extra part to up armor the sergeant's face a little more, because that's just sort of the generic Mark III command upgrade head. But otherwise, and that's not even nitpicking. That's just they could have, but nothing. Unlike some of the other kits we've looked at today, I don't want to change anything. They're fine.
I would say one thing they also said was these all come as part of the Siege Assault battle group, and I was panicking there, thinking, oh no. But no, you can buy all 4 of these kits, including the Dreadnought, on their own. So you can. You don't need to buy the big set, which I applaud. I think that is the right way of doing things.
Yeah, that
and
deserves,
they should continue doing it this way.
Praise for sure. You're totally right.
Yeah, definitely. I think, right way of doing it. Well done, Games Workshop. But, thank you for giving us, 0. Like, literally, you're giving us, what you should give us. You've woken up in the morning. Congratulations, Games Workshop. But at least we're getting that, and we're not having to pay upwards of £150, whatever it is. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Unless you live in Australia, then you're fucked either way. But it's fine. Or New Zealand. Are we done with that part of Horus Heresy?
I think so. We can move on to...
Yeah.
All right. Skitarii Battle Pilgryms.
Yes.
Spelt wrong. Because, TM, trademark.
It's very important.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay.
Yep. Leggy Skitarii, folks.
Lay it on us, Macca.
Leggy Skitarii. These guys are on the catwalk.
They look so
We saw
fast.
that one dude, the sniper dude on the stilts, and we went, yes, let's make a range out of that.
That was
I just don't like them, man. I want to... I'm in a positive frame of mind with models these days. I'm trying to not shit on everything. But when they release things like this, they make it so difficult because these just look lame.
It's hard for me to get.
You know what's funny is there's a lot of them aiming with their weapons, but the weapons aren't properly shouldered. So why do they have this giant stock if you're not even going to shoulder it?
Yeah. It's going to fly out your hand straight away. No.
It's an acquired taste, I think.
They remind me of... Do you ever see
if you
Metal
took
Gear
just the
Solid,
top half...
the gecko from Metal Gear Solid? The cows?
Okay, yeah, no, I get the reference. The long legs, yeah.
Long legs that just look goofy, and they're not intimidating at all. This is that.
I like the geckos more than this though. But
it's like, you know what it looks like? It looks like someone was designing these models and accidentally, when they were putting the legs on them, they accidentally hit enlarge by 100% on the legs, and they married up legs that are way too big with, like on those Russian babushka dolls. You take the top half off but left the bottom half still on it. So it's yeah, the legs just look way too. They look like they're proportioned correctly, but are too big for the model they're on. If you had that exact same leg design, but you shrunk it down to the size of a normal leg, it would probably look really good.
Yeah. I've got no disagreement there. I think it's about fine.
I feel like
because the legs on their own look fine, and the upper half of the models, even with the ridiculous stocks on their guns, looks fine. So it's really just the mismatch between the two halves that hurts them.
I wonder
or do you guys think otherwise?
No, I mean, it's hard for me to get this does not spark joy for me. It's just not the aesthetic, or I feel like this way about a lot of AdMech, honestly. I feel like it's not for me necessarily. I think it's trying to appeal to someone else's aesthetic preferences, right? So maybe it's a question for viewers. Does this get you going? Like I don't like. Please let us know, because for me, it's like I'm not particularly excited by this. Yeah, it's just not. It's not my jam. I think it's just that.
Mhm. I have nothing else to add. It's not for me, but I also think these are beyond it being just not for me. I think these are just not very good models. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I can't hard time disagreeing with that. What do we have next here? A Pilgrim Marshal. Oh, he's like the best long-legged guy. Well, what's there to say about this guy?
You know when I complain about tactical rocks.
Yeah.
We can't now. That's a mechanical.
But look above him at just the regular battle pilgrim above the Skitarii Marshal.
Oh yeah, that's like
It's
a.
basically the exact same model. He does not stand out at all. And like
Is it?
you can complain about every Marine character getting a cloak and this, that, and the other.
Mm.
But when your models are so similar as this, like, ooh, like it was a problem with Grey Knights, and you'd be very familiar with this North. Like, it's very hard to in an army like Grey Knights to make the characters stand out because each individual is like a character.
Yeah.
There's so much going right. So it's like, what do you have to do?
Everybody's
Well, yeah, like Drago and Stern all have to have cloaks.
Same with custodians as well.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. And Crow has like this crazy weapon. And it's like, that's it. That's all we can do. And a cloak to try and like make him stick it. It's like the same here. It's like he looks almost identical to the very model above him. Like you scroll up one frame to just a regular pilgrim, and then you scroll down this guy. It's like same armor, same pose, same everything. This guy's got a stick.
He's got 2 servo skulls.
Yeah, they need to do something different with this, like 4 legs, like he's got like a cyber centaur body.
Cyber Centaur.
You know?
Like at a distance,
No, yeah, I
something
get it.
like that.
Yeah, something.
at a distance, these don't look like Mechanicus. If you scroll down to where they show you the box set, they don't look like these. Look like
Yeah, they look like Necromunda.
or Necromunda. Yeah,
color.
they look like something. You know,
And the ragged cloaks.
Yeah.
that's not Imperium. You
Yeah,
know,
that does.
I don't like these at all. I just don't know how this got past.
This might. I
Yeah.
think I recall the speaker alluding to that. This is supposed to be like the Calibor Hal, the ones that are more
Right.
aligned with Horus.
Right. But it
portion
doesn't
of the
say that.
average.
It says Mechanicum Skitarii Battle Group. It doesn't say.
Oh,
that
fair
they're
enough. Yeah, so
Dark
you could probably
Mechanicum.
play them either way. That's
Yeah.
how Horus Heresy
If
works.
it said
right,
Dark
Mecca?
Mechanicum, then fine. But like it doesn't. So he's talking shit, is what I'm saying. Like there's no. You're not talking shit. Like the guy is
Yeah.
talking shit because it doesn't say Dark Mechanicum. It just says Mechanicum. So that's what they are.
They
sure, you can
definitely
play them as Dark Mechanicum.
they feel more coded to the Dark Mechanicum side of
They do.
things. Yeah.
They do. But it just shows the lack of thought therein because they've just gone, well, you can play them as both, who cares? Release them. And we'll just tell them that the Dark Mechanicum, even though the box says Mechanicum. But, you know, and also they didn't say, I don't think that you could buy these separately. So I think these do come in this set. And that is what you're getting. From what I understood. Again, this is why I wanted to watch it just before we came on, so I could say stuff like this. I can't remember them saying this was coming separately. So I think this is the Steel Hand of Mars is what you're going to be needing to get your Mechanicum fix. Unfortunately, if you want it, I don't know why you would, but like you know, just play
I'm
modern
sure
Mechanicum. If you turn up to an Heresy event playing Mechanicum with modern Mechanicum stuff, I think they would prefer that. To be honest with you, they'd be like, yeah, it looks better. Please just bring the Mechanicum. The Mechanicum doesn't change. That's the whole point. So why would you know?
Don't tell GW though. They want to keep them very different, separate, and different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, much to everyone's appeasement. I guess the only thing left in this article is the bloat drone, or what are they called? And
That would be a Voltarax.
yes, Voltarax.
It looks like an
Stratos.
enslaver, but mechanical.
It's interesting that the missiles and now don't look like they were just a Havoc launcher in the past, and it was literally a Havoc launcher.
Right.
These look like different. They didn't even paint the eye on the front of it. It's just a big brass ball.
Yeah.
That's an interesting choice. It's fine. It's fine. I kind of wish it didn't have all the tendrils coming out the front. Save the tendrily tentacle stuff for the Dark Mechanicum. Like, just have it as, like, sockets coming out, and don't have, like, Edward Scissorhands and a little cute little buzzsaw and, like, all that stuff. Because, like, if it's just, like, sockets on the end of cables, that's very loyalist Mechanicum. Whereas, like, the buzzsaws and, like, the fucking pinching cores and all of that feels Dark Mechanicum. Like, the Dark Mechanicum, like, constructs in Imperialis.
Right. Yeah, you see the same kind of design language on Marines and
like
Warpsmiths. The same kind of differences.
Yes, and it's like if you do it just right, you can kill two birds with one stone, because you could say, hey, use these parts in the kit if you are doing Dark Mechanicum. If you're doing regular Mechanicum, use these parts in the kit.
Hey, that sounds like a good use of a model kit.
Stop making sense. Then like it is really frustrating when they release these things, and then in 2 seconds you'll have a hobbyist go, "Why didn't they do it this way?" And it would have cost them less money. Whatever. Fucking Games Workshop. I'm trying to be positive.
Try to be positive.
Well, I always look at things with that production slant, like, because I was managing a plastics factory, so I look at it from that perspective. Like, hey, if I was managing a plastics factory still, and I was trying to, get as much bang for my buck out of the molds that I was making, wouldn't I try and do this? That's just how I happen to look at it. It doesn't mean I'm right. So choose that how you will.
I got you. It's a good bit of context for your analysis. Helps people understand. I think that's it for that article. Next we have
Epic scale, is it?
Yes. This is Macca's favorite.
Oh, and we have a really good one after that. By the way, after this, Grimdark Therapy called this in our first ever episode. We will get to that. Don't you worry. That'll be the main event. Horus Heresy fans will get to that. But yeah, it's Legion Imperialis or whatever it is now.
You got some salamanders on the front representing, pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the
thank God the Praetor is in exactly the same pose on in miniature, or I wouldn't have known what it was.
It's nice when they do that, because it's like you just take the existing sculpt and just universal scale down.
They've got other loadouts for these Arachne platforms. So guess what, 40k players? Oh, sorry, 30k players, all 4 of you that are left playing this shit version of a game. You're gonna get an assault. Actually, those look more like Punishers than assault cannons. Looks like Punishers and missiles for the Arachne. And there's another weapon, it looks like there. 2 other weapons for the Sat-9 Dreadnought. So they bring out an upgrade kit for that. So you get it to... Guess what? You get to spend money on an upgrade box. Because fuck including an extra sprue in with what you got. No, pay us extra, you piece of shit. Sorry, is that too salty? No, it feels like I could go deeper.
Let's
You said.
How do we square that up with, like, the classic Forge World Store Leviathan that was in resin with all... Because you would buy all the weapons separately, which is similar.
Yeah, the thing was, when you bought it, right? Yeah, okay, it was a resin sculpt, and yep, you had to buy each individual weapon. Thing was, you could pick just to buy those weapons.
Just the ones you wanted.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is very different to, hey, you get to pay for this. You might not even use 8 arms, but you've got to buy all 8 arms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it depends what it's bundled with. You are right.
Yeah. That is the fundamental difference.
Because the Contemptors, they're probably going to follow the same paradigm of how the weapons are paired up. There's weird pairings of different weapon sets, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Do you want to
and it's like, why are you nickel and diming me weapons? Is what I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just...
No, I have a...
I know it's going to happen. Look, I'm not even playing Heresy anymore, so I shouldn't have to argue. But the reason I'm not playing anymore is because of decisions like this, where it's like someone has gone out, they've bought this $500 Australian box set to get their Sat 9 Dreadnought in there, right? Which I still don't think is sold separately. And it's like, and if you want to actually upgrade it with other weapons, that's literally, you've got to pay extra for those. That's not a good thing for the customer. And that is a downgrade from in the past. Like, when you bought a lot of the models in the past, the weapons were in the box. You didn't open up the Predator tank and then it was like, there's only the las cannon or there's only the autocannon. You know, it was, well, the Predator can take both. It comes with both. You know, same with the Razorback.
Mm-hmm.
It was only like a couple of legacy weapons, like the Lasplaz Razorback, for example, that never got ported over into plastic.
Right.
You know, it's like, if something comes armed with something, why are you making me like go out of my way to have to buy extra stuff to make it happen? Like, that was a compromise of Forge World's system where they were resin models and each one was sort of bespoke. And here, we're, 6 months? Not even. We're 5 months into a new edition, and you're telling me they didn't know that they were coming out with these weapons for Saturn? Like, they've already got to now do an update to the rules, right? Because you're bringing out new weapons for these things.
No way, they knew, man. Kidding
Right?
me?
So they knew.
Yeah.
So this is printed in that main rule book that you've paid for. So is that Arachne weapons platform. And now they're going to add 2 new weapons to the Arachne. They're going to add 2 new weapons on the Sat 9 Dreadnought. And it's like, well, I'm sorry, but you knew you were going to do that. So why didn't you just add those weapons as options from the start and then just say to players, like, hey, down the line, these are coming? Because, like, you've not just made it so now a person has to pay for upgrade kits. And you've also made it so now that the stuff that was printed is sort of redundant. Like, they didn't do that in 40k. If you're playing 5th edition 40k and your Marine Codex dropped, it would drop and go, look, here's all the stuff you get. They didn't drop the Codex and then 5 months later go, oh, by the way, random new units for like half the stuff in your Codex. Like, this is a problem that is recent with Games Workshop. And people probably think
I think you're right.
I'm unfairly dwelling on it. But this was not a problem. This is a new phenomenon.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of examples in 40k. I don't think that. I think
like
this is new.
If you buy a Deathwatch box set, you don't open it up and it's like, oh, there's no upgrades for my Deathwatch. I have to go and buy another box. It's like, no, the options are there. That may change with new stuff. Grey Knights, right? You don't open it up and there's like, oh, there's no Psy Cannons. That's a separate upgrade.
No, yeah, that would be...
Right?
I wouldn't put it past them because they hate us that much. But like, yeah, it's
you don't open up Dark Eldar and there's no blasters or shuriken cannons. You know, this is my point. This is not a problem that existed in the past. This is a new problem of their creation. They've created the problem. Now they're going to sell you the solution. We sold you an expensive model. Now. And expensive printed rules in hardback. Well, now we're gonna, at a minimum, at a bare minimum, best case scenario, they're free PDF upgrade. In a worst case scenario, it's coming in one of those £20 expansion books.
Right. It's also maybe like a degree further deceptive because that original purchase was framed as being complete. right? It wasn't like they made it aware, like, oh, down the road, the Saturnine. I don't recall if they did. I don't keep a toe in the heresy side of things too much, anyways. So maybe I just don't know. But I don't believe the Saturnine was showcased with this idea, like, oh, and down the road you can expect more weapons. Like, I don't think that was the case. I think it was more like,
No,
look how cool this is. Aren't you excited? Don't you remember? Saturnine. And then everyone was like,
I
excited.
think mine is I have a salty a segue salty thing. It's not going to take a long time. I don't like how Horus Heresy tanks are so much better than 40k tanks. Like literally, these are
like the aesthetics.
They just look better. That they look like brutal machines of war. The floating tanks that the Space Marines have now, what are they called?
Repulsor.
The repulsor. It just doesn't do it for me. This is the kind of thing I want. Big old tracks, massive guns on top of it. The half dome on top. All of it just screams Grimdark to me. And
it was a misstep, I think. I think everyone would agree.
I shouldn't have to pay upwards of 80, 90 pounds to just get a decent tank in my army. The repulsors is half the price of these most of the time. Like the old the Land Raider, my favorite tank. Love it. Absolutely love a Land Raider, especially the Crusader variant. Love it. But these dudes, same family tree, wider, girthier, bigger guns. Get in my veins. The fact that it's only Horus Heresy and you've got to pay all this money to get at them is a travesty. But that's my little segue. That's all I've got to say about it. Well, one day.
Yeah, I think that's.
So I'm very excited for this next bit because.
Well, then we'll get to it. Yeah, because I think it's just a box set for Legions Imperialis, which no one cares too much about. So we can jump over to the Black Library. It's a Black Library one? Is that?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Called it. And we've said this for years on this podcast.
It's so funny.
Absolutely called it. We said, why don't they trim it down to
It's so funny.
The key event, right? You don't need to write any more books. To just make a big key event thing so you can read it from start to finish, and that's it. 20 books. They've done it in 12.
When they announced this, I couldn't help but laugh out loud because
they've done it in 12.
What does that tell you about the entire series?
Does that tell you? And they said it themselves.
I know.
They said it themselves. They said, oh, if you did, so now you don't need to read through 57 plus books. It's like, well, why did you write them then?
It's so funny to me.
Why? Just it's so stupid.
It's a self-report. It's beautiful.
Oh my! Just tell on yourselves, please. They literally said it in their own presser. They said, "Yeah, we know there's a lot of books. Now you don't need to read them. Now you can." By the way, get Slaves of Darkness out of there. That's a terrible book. But I just dude, we said it for years, and I'm glad they're doing it. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad they're doing it. And now they've got this line through of the Horus Heresy of, okay, these are the books you need, okay, to know what's going on in the End and the Death and the Siege of Terror. Right? These are the books you need. But also, way to just if you're one of these guys who wrote Nemesis or any Salamander book, way to just say, yeah, all those things, waste of money. Don't bother with those. We shouldn't have even released those.
We also told them that.
Well, yeah, but this is all we told them. We have brains, Macca. For years we've said, literally, I think it's our first ever episode we discussed the bloat of the Horus Heresy and how to trim it down. Our conservative suggestion was a new book series of old books, literally 1 to 20. I think it was. We did 20, didn't we? We picked them out, didn't we? So you keep these and get rid of the rest and re-release them with art and things. It's exactly what they've done with 12 books. So, look at that. Incredible.
Funny how it'd be. Yeah,
we could do an entire episode just on the books they picked and why.
Maybe we might. That's not a terrible idea for a topic.
I mean,
I'm familiar with most of these ones.
And it shows you the fall off in quality. What have I always said? The first 5, amazing, and
Yeah.
they're the first 5, and then we don't get another one until the first Heretic. Like literally, they cut out like 12 books. Like, yeah, I don't need any of those. That's fine. Let's get rid of those.
Yeah,
And
it's a shame Scars isn't here, but I can see
Vindication.
why.
Vindication. Absolute vindication. I've said it for years. The first 5, after Legion, off the rails. As soon as we got to Legion, done. Off the rails. This is going haywire. Thanks, Dan Abnett. But like, oh my God. My days.
It's
Like
there's a bit
Betrayal,
of a,
yeah,
it's
fine.
cathartic to see them come around on the obvious issue that is how bloated that novel series is.
They made good picks, mostly. The first 5, yeah. It takes you all the way to Istvan 3 and Istvan 5. First Heretic, of course. Prospero Burns, of course. No Fear.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, I like it
in terms
subjectively, but I don't know what it does
not
for
in
the
its-
overall through line of the Horus Heresy itself.
I'm not talking about its quality. I'm talking about its importance to the narrative.
Yeah,
Quality,
exactly.
I don't care. But importance to the narrative, I don't know if you need No Fear.
I don't think you do. I think
Because-
it's here because of 40k more than anything.
It's here because of Ultramarines, yeah.
Yeah.
You need to know why they're not at the Siege of Terror, basically. That's what that is. You got Betrayer. I mean, but the thing is, they cover it in Betrayer too, so you don't need both. You don't need both No Fear and Betrayer. Like, they cover the Shadow Crusade, they cover Ultramarines against Word Bearers and World Eaters in
World
Betrayer,
Eaters.
so you don't need it. Praetorian of Dawn, fine. It shows one of the Primarchs dying. Suppose you've got to have that in there. Spoilers. Master of Mankind.
Do we have to though?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Master
I'm
of
pretty sure if you
Mankind.
ask an Alpha Legion fan, they're not gonna want that book in that series.
Fuck 'em. They shouldn't be so obtuse then, should they? Master of Mankind, yeah, that needs to be in there. It's not a very good book, but it's important. And Slaves to Darkness, again, not a very good book, but it is important. So, yeah, my only thing is No Fear. I don't think that really needs to be in there. Everything else could probably. By the way, all of the Lehman Russ stuff gone.
Funny how it works, huh?
Gone.
Society's lost, really.
Yeah, I mean, all of the I'm going to assassinate Horus on my own, gone. Just gone. They don't need that. All of Garvia Locust, gone. Like, he's in the first 3, and then you don't see him again in any of these books. So yeah, that's just go to show, right? And them doing this should show you the lost opportunity that Horus Heresy was. Because even this doesn't... Even if you read all of these 12, you're still going to be like, wait, where's the... What? By the time you get to the Siege of Terror. Because they've sporadically put so much of this information that you need in too many different books. Do you know what I mean? There are too many things you should really know about. I mean, you're going to get to the Siege of Terror reading these and go, John who? Who's this John Grammaticus guy? He's not even in these 12 books.
Super important character, North. I don't know if you're
Well,
aware.
yeah, apparently he is. Dan says he is. So he's in the Siege of Terror. I read those books. I'm never getting that time back. Time is precious, and I was wasted on
He's
these.
crucial. He's going to be the next big figure to come back in 40k. You'll see.
The fact that they didn't, again, spoilers, that they didn't kill that guy off, and he got a semi-happy ending when everybody else died. Dan Abnett, you can suck my meaty balls. I hate you, and I don't know why you have the keys to the castle in terms of narrative 40k. Like, you wrote some good books 25 years ago, 20 odd years ago. You wrote Eisenhorn. Congrats. Like, that's, and maybe a few others, don't get me wrong. But Dan Abnett books about 20 years ago were really good. But this guy just sniffs his own farts and just will not let these characters go. Like, it just... And the fact that we all loved Loken and we didn't like John Grammaticus, he loved killing Loken off. Gleefully killed Loken off. It's like, yeah, you know what? All this shows is how broken Horus Heresy is. Like, I absolutely applaud the attempt, but all this shows, if you can read these 12 books and you will have no clue what's going on when you get to the Siege of Terror. You'd be like, what?
Yeah, you'll still be lacking context.
Who are these people?
They've made that bad. You can't really do anything about that.
I'd love to hear what you both have to say, but that was I was waiting to say that.
Well, I kind of got my comments in there alongside you.
Just silly.
Like, I wonder if you could do the same, if we'll see them do the same with the Siege of Terra, shorten that series down to just 1 or 2 books, just skip the rest.
I mean, my problem here is that I sit here going, I expected nothing and I'm still disappointed. I've reached that point in my Games Workshop critiquing career.
Again, I applaud the attempt, and I applaud the
comedy
admittance. Yeah, the admittance of we wrote nearly 60 books that we didn't need to write, and here's the 12 you actually need to read, and even then, the ending is not going to make any sense because we've given too many key plot points into too. This is why we said we fixed it. We did 20. I think it's 22 novels. You can shorten the whole series down to 22 novels, and that'll give you all the context you need for the End and the Death and the Siege of Terror. And they've gone with 12. That's a really weird number, really strange. And I don't know.
Do you suppose that this condensed reading list for the Horus Heresy Saga will retroactively help solve the issues in the Siege of Terra, the weird characters that feel injected and out of nowhere?
No, they're not going to add anything.
No, not adding anything. Just, I can't help but find the concept humorous that you might read these 12 books, the short version of the Horus Heresy, go to the Siege of Terra series, and find characters like Erda, be super confused, but then you might think, oh, it must be in those other books I skipped.
Dude, yeah, you can read all 56 books and still not know who she is.
Well, this is my point, right? I think there's room for forgiveness now, because you're like, oh, I skipped 50 books, so,
Yeah.
She's probably built up in those books, right?
Yeah. This Erebus guy turns up a lot. Like, where's he? I just... Again, it shows you what they had. Those first 5 books were immaculate.
Lightning in a bottle.
Were immaculate. It shows you what they had. And they just couldn't help themselves. That Dan got on the mushrooms and just couldn't help himself. And from then on in, as soon as he wrote Legion, which is a decent book, don't get me wrong, but as soon as he wrote Legion...
It's not.
I quite enjoyed it. I like Guard, I like things like that. I like spy novels.
I'm very Heresy hardline on this stuff.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah, I mean, I if I didn't like spy novels, I'd be in the same boat. I'd be like, yeah, this sucks. But like, the Legion worked for me because if I took all of the 40k stuff out of it, I'd have enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd have actually quite enjoyed it. But even Legion, he starts introducing the Cabal. All of the problems start from there. It starts there, and it's a slow downhill. The snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger from there. Mechanicus, again, it's interesting, but is it really needed? No, but like, I applaud the attempt. This should have been 20 books. And if you're going to do this, and these books aren't even any different. There's no artwork. There's nothing. I would do these 20 books redone as the big black Heresy books that Maka keeps talking about. Those ones, the actual rule. I do it like that. So you've got like a big compendium. So the first 3, Horus Rising, False Gods, and Galaxy in Flames, are all in one big tome with artwork. And those are the first 3. Bang, there you go. Then you do Flight of the Eisenstein. Yeah, you do it like that in compendium. So if you just want to read the central through line of the Horus Heresy, then you just need to read these 5 massive tomes. And these collector's editions and things like that. But they said it as well. They said, if you want to know they lied. If you want to know the through story of the Horus Heresy, just read these 12 books. No, that's not... No, because I've read these. All of them. And you're lying. This isn't the through line to the Horus Heresy at all. This is it's nonsense. Like, How can you have no fear in here and not have vengeful spirit, where Horus gets his powers? Like, if you read these 12 books,
it just shows up to Terra like really, really strong.
Yeah, you read these 12 books, he just turns up and he's like, yeah,
no,
I'm now Goku. Like, this is who I am now. Like,
Hi, I'm Horus the Black, and I return to you now at the turn of the tide.
Yeah. It's just like, it just makes no sense. Like, oh, I applaud the attempt, but like, this is the most Games Workshop thing I've ever seen. Like, they've just admitted that they're wrong, and then tried to fix it by just insulting you, and then just sort of said, "That's it. We're done. It's been 20 years since the release of Horus Rising. So here's the 12 books we think are important. Well, what about my other favorite books? Yeah, fuck them. Yeah, fuck them. White Scars. Who cares, right?
Not crucial.
Despite again,
the quality.
And
yeah.
I think Maka said this the other, if we jettison Scars, which we didn't in our list, I've got it in my notes here. He said if we jettison Scars, we're jettisoning the best Horus Heresy books.
Yeah.
Right. Chris rates Scar stuff, so we couldn't. We had to keep them in. And what they've done, not just with that, but with a few other books, is they've just gone no. So I actually enjoyed Unremembered Empire. I don't know why. I just enjoyed.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the play with a Gilliman and the Lion and the rivalry there. I liked. I think Kurz is way overpowered in it, but like
it's not perfect, but
it's not perfect, but it's better than these. Like better than No Fear. Like it's
I think it does a lot for a lot of the characters who are there, a lot of the Primarchs.
Anyway, I'm gonna get off my high horse. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna shut up now.
This is good. That's what it's all about.
There is something bittersweet though about like us calling the very problem and then them confirming it's the problem, because like we're still gonna get labeled as like angry, never happy, always salty. And it's like, but they agree with us.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I finally had my Macrodamus moment. Finally, like after all this time, get to be smug. Say, I told you it's coming.
Mate, it's an unreal feeling. Like
it is
when you hit just the right level of smug. It is. Oh,
absolutely. Alrighty.
Shall we carry on?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Old World. Oh yeah, Old World Cathay next. Ooh.
Oh yeah. What was your this hit for you, North?
Yeah, I liked it. I listen. I like the Old World. I like the Old World. I don't have any issues. If you want to come in and mine my nostalgia, you can do so. They need new models in Cathay. I think they look fine. These are all. What I quite liked about it is that they said these are the normies. These are your normal dudes. You don't need to use Jade Guard for everything anymore. It fills up a really blank spot in their roster. They've now got 2 wizards. One is mounted, one is not. A new character, and yeah, it fills out the Jade the Jade stuff and the Cathay quite nicely. I'm not going to collect Grand Cathay because it's not my thing, but I think more options for Old World stuff is great, and the fact that we're getting a campaign book, Arcane Journal, based in the Great Wall of China, the Grand Bastion, is also really cool, and it is showing the normal dudes, because the Jade, the Guard are all away in the Old World fighting for some reason. So yeah, it's going to be the normal dudes fighting against probably Baelacor or somebody coming down from the north. It's going to be really cool. Or Chaos Dwarfs. I think it might be Chaos Dwarfs. That's going to be really cool. But I've got no complaints with Old World. I like Old World, and I think these are decent models. It's really hard to fuck up, China, because everybody's played Dynasty Warriors. We all know what this is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. And I'm not a big fan of the Pavis rifles, mainly because that guy with it on his head is dead. That kind of a rifle being fired on top of your head, he is either concussed or he is bleeding from the ears. He is dead. So he does not need to be there. Aside from that, decent models and nothing more to say, really. Yeah, it's straight up 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I really like the standard bearer in the peasantry squad. Really
Yes,
cool.
yes, yes. I like the wizards. I mean, that's pretty cool. And apparently the wizards come
First
with
picture
different
of the
weapon options too.
wizards up. That first picture of the wizards up the very top looks like a demon of Zinch has been caught in the act. Like he's like the pose he's in. He's like, and the guy behind him is like waving his fingers, like put it down, put it down.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking
But I've got no
fucking
complaints.
done, busted.
I've got no complaints.
Yeah. It's good that the old world stuff for the most part has like kept with the old school way of building models where it's not like too painful. But this range being a new range trying to fit into it feels like they really want to build them like Age of Sigmar. Like they want to give them more parts, but they know they can't. And it's like this horrible, like they've for the most part nailed it with like Cathay in general of like, okay, we have the ability to add more detail, but we're not overdoing it too much. Like the arrows on their backs, a little bit spindly, you can get away with it. The only one they've flubbed it on completely is the Terracotta Sentinel. Not because it's not a gorgeous model, but holy shit, have you seen anyone build one?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I've seen them a few times online on
Like
Discord.
an absurd amount of parts, or what?
I
just-
think it's
awkward.
triple digits. I think it's close on triple digits for one model.
Awkward as hell.
I'm gonna say like
Needlessly
87.
In
something
your
like
estimation,
that. Actually, I'm gonna look it up right
Yeah.
now because I'm curious.
If you're doing it, I'd like to get your take on it. Like, would you assess, at least based on the screenshots, that this could have been cut in a more user-friendly way? Or is it
Everything,
everything? Yeah, basically all.
everything Games Workshop does could be molded in a far superior way.
Right.
They just do what they can get away with. They, like, you can tweak your molds to do amazing things. How much do you want to spend on that process? If it's not going to yield you any additional sales. Right? Terracotta Sentinel, by the way, 167 parts. For a monopose single build kit.
Yeah, doesn't sound fun.
No, thank you.
Yeah, it's literally it's. Hang on, I'll just
I
send
like
the link
the army shot
to the
here.
chat.
I'll bring this up.
Hopefully that was the Terracotta Sentinel, not some strong pornography.
Oh well, no, it's the Sentinel. Eesh, just expensive.
Oh yeah, that's dollary dues.
I haven't bought GW stuff in a while, so I get surprised.
You know, so for example, you can mold in 3 dimensions if you put cores in, but now you've got to pay and program in a separate hydraulic system, and it's now extra parts on your die. You take a die that would have cost you, $70,000 and you turn it into a $120,000 die to functionally make the same model. Someone was going to buy it anyway. You're not losing sales because of the complexity of your models. You're just pissing off people. But they're still buying from you. So
interesting. Interesting for this product, they don't have pictures of the sprue.
Yeah, well,
That tells you, right?
I'll find a picture of the sprue and send that across to you.
Anything else for Cathay here?
No, I don't think so. I think it was the normal dudes, and basically filling out the roster.
Yeah.
They gave us the nice stuff first, and then they're filling it out later, which is fine.
It's a nice looking range, man.
Try not to throw up when you see this. This is from Goonhammer, by the way. Credit to them.
Oh wow, that's a little sprue.
Considering that you can buy like German railway guns, and they have less parts than that, and they're like these highly complex model kits that's also shockingly cheaper. It really puts into perspective. So I like what they've done with Cathay well enough.
Yeah,
But
the
yeah.
aesthetic is nice.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, let's go to the next article. Where are we? Necromunda. What did they show for? Oh, this guy. I am not the Necromunda guy here.
It's like Balthazar Gelt meets General Grievous.
They hinted at this guy being a gene stealer
Grievous?
cultist. I think they hinted at him being a gene stealer dude who's like trying not to be a gene stealer.
Is that the case?
I don't know.
Oh. He's super old. I know that. Look at this
Yeah.
unmasked version. That's pretty cool though.
Gnarly. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy's like life support suit.
I mean, they're fine. I mean, you could even use these as Imperial Guardsmen. Like, they're fine. I think that's the main thing about Necromunda is it gives you, and Kill Team too, like, it gives you bespoke things to add to your bigger 40k armies if you want to, you know, kind of
The
thing.
problem is the price.
Yes. Price point
Like, there are so many Necromunda miniatures where you're like, oh, I'd love to have an army of that. Then you build them and you're like, oh, these are kind of annoying to build because it's like, it's the best and worst aspects of old Games Workshop rolled into, and new Games Workshop rolled into one, where it's like monopose miniatures with lots of parts and lots of war gear options. But it's like, many of them only go one way. And if you get two arms wrong, you're like, shit, and you start pulling them apart, and then the plastic glue doesn't quite, you know, when it stays like gluggy for extra long because you've like glue on like 6 times trying to get the arm, just because you didn't. I test fit a lot of my models. There are still times when I test fit, I'm holding it there with blue tack or something, or my fingers, I'm like, these go together. I put the glue on, I put them back together, now they're misaligned. And I'm like, okay, they don't go together. I do that a lot with New Games Workshop stuff. And I've been building models for 3 decades. Like, it's just that, we're talking fractions of a degree of difference in the alignment of some of these things, and it makes a huge difference when you get to the point of gluing.
All right, like
so there's that complexity
for certain models, and then the
yes, it's that complexity, and then it meets the, well, because of that complexity and the monopose nature, if you did an army of them, you would still be repeating like a shit ton of poses regardless, even though it feels like it's complex because you get to glue all these different weapons on. It's actually monopose. It's just monopose in disguise. But it's like, it's actually only 5 poses of 5 dudes, right? And if you were going to do that, you're like, well, how much am I going to pay now for an army? Because like, even if I was building like 40 guardsmen, holy shit, that's a lot of money. So it kind of does them a disservice. I feel like they should be, and I don't think this would affect the bottom line, I feel like they should be half the price. Necromunda, to encourage that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you've got niche models that are only going to be used for certain things, yes, I'm with you.
I mean, I like the models. Like this judge guy
models
with
are
his servo skull with the wig, the judge's wig. That's fun. It's silly, but
oh, awesome! More Waywers on the Moon. I hate squats. They're the one range I just don't talk about.
I'm caught up with you.
Because they're just terrible, and they're bad, and they don't fit the universe, and they should fuck off.
You're not a fan of the space dwarves, huh?
They're fucking, and I've touched on it before. It's because they're the laziest, most pathetic kind of space dwarf, where they have Celtic themes, and it's like, you literally couldn't be inspired to do... Yeah, you couldn't even be inspired to do something different. You literally just went, dwarves in space. And I will never get over that hurdle.
Yeah, I have a feeling that they're kind of caught between two. They're being pulled in 2 different directions with the squats. Like, they want to do space dwarves with dwarfy themes, but then they also have this squats ties to humanity kind of thing they have to serve. So then you have
steampunk and sunglasses and rogue trader, but also they need to be cool and ultra modern, and also they need to have like Celtic stuff because you liked Lord of the Rings, right? You like Gimli, right?
Oh, who doesn't like Gimli?
Yeah, there is nothing redeeming about that fucking range. And Necromunda typically has the best squats. Because the ones that are more like Rogue Trader tend to be the best squats.
Yeah, they are way more Rogue Trader-y. I like
Yeah.
the Votan's weapon aesthetics, but it's not because they're dwarves or because there's squats. It's just, I think it's a neat sci-fi aesthetic. You could put that on any army, and I'd probably like it just the same.
Mm.
It's just an aesthetic preference I kind of like, but it's certainly not.
I've got nothing against squats and Leagues of Votan. I do reading some of the articles in my dwarf about them this month, or last month, sorry. It does feel like it has an air of trying to justify their existence, and with AI, ancestor cores, things like that, and they are very dwarven, which is fine. But if it was me, I'd be more going into a Deep Rock Galactic. There's the mining people. They go around. Everybody needs raw materials. Just do that.
Do the classic dwarven thing. They uncovered something terrible. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's the Grimdark angle. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. They've been lost for a long time because they've been mining in the center of the galaxy. And now they've just come back, and they're a bit weird. They were lost in the warp for a bit. You don't need to be doing these ancestor core AI. We all clone each other. It doesn't need to be like that. You can just do, some really dwarves and space shit. And it seems like they're trying too hard to justify their own existence. The best factions grow naturally from a small seed, and then they grow bit by bit by bit. Even Space Marines did that, right, over the last 30 years. They've grown in the telling. They used to be bloody policemen. Do you know what I mean? who just go after punks. And now they're, see, it's all right doing that. Games Workshop trying to do everything at once with the Leagues of Votan, which is not great, but there we go. That's Necromunda.
Yeah, that's Necromunda covered, I think. Okay, let's move on to... Oh, finally towards the end with 40k. I think we start with a slew of characters. The first is Macca's favorite faction, a Votan character, who's a slayer... A slayer of orcs. Definitely. So he's supposed to be a leader of the berserker type unit. They're called berserks, but spelled differently. Just berserks.
A slayer of orcs.
Yeah, he's an orc slayer named character.
Why is the weapon as big as he is? Look, shit. Next.
It's because he's strong.
No, I hate this Warcraftization that's going on with 40k.
He's not the worst for it, but I agree.
People will point back to Rogue Trader and go, "It's always been stupid." No, at one point there, it took itself pretty seriously as a universe, right?
Yeah.
This shit now, modern Warhammer 40,000 is too World of Warcraft. Giant fucking weapons everywhere. It's a fucking lame design language.
Yeah, I hate
it. My biggest pet peeve of this model is he's trying to make up for being a dwarf. Look what he's standing on. Just be a dwarf.
Yeah.
Just be a dwarf in space. You don't need a tactical rock. Just be a dwarf. It's fine. You don't need to be the size of a Space Marine to look cool. And and that's my main bugbear with it. Yeah, beyond that, the weapon thing, whatever. It's just.
It's not the worst offender of giant weapons. There are worse.
No. I mean, I've seen Space Marines
GW,
do this.
but
it's fine.
I think what's another interesting sort of angle, a different angle of criticism for this guy is that you have a very small range, and I think now this is the third named character they have.
Yeah, they got the Tyranid Slayer guy.
Yeah, the Tyranid Slayer
Halfkin guy.
Yeah, you have the first guy, and then you have this Orc Slayer guy. So that I don't know. The overabundance of named characters is not something I like ever, but in such a small range, it is a little extra awkward for me.
The twin lance though, now. I quite like these.
Yeah,
these are pretty cool.
I like it for the most part. Go ahead.
Yes, I think they're pretty cool. I think a part of it is the paint job. I think it's a really nice paint job. And I think, again, the dynamic posers quite like it. Hopefully these are easily magnetized because I think they come with different weapon options too. I didn't know you have to come as a twosome. I don't think you can take one.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting design space for an epic
Yeah.
hero. I just kind of shit on the
Yeah, they're a
overabundance
single
of them,
unit, I
but
think.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a single unit. It's a pair of epic heroes, which is at least that's interesting in itself. I mean, compared to just here's your single model epic hero release for this faction and that faction, et cetera, et cetera. So that is different. So if you're gonna keep making these epic
I like the dynamic
heroes,
exposures. I wish Tau would get more. The best Tau force I saw was in actually last month's White Dwarf. It was a rusted up Tau force that was it seen a lot of battle damage, and they had a lot of trophies and stuff. I was like, yeah, that's cool. I want to see more of that. These are very clean. It's like they've never been to war before. Like it's one of those, I can see like there's certain bits of acid spray that have come across the armor. That's pretty cool. But I want to see trophies. I want to see battle damage. I want to see all that stuff to really mark up the armor.
I get
and,
you. There's a real
give them some
novelty
personality.
that you get with Tau when you lean into the Grimdark kind of aesthetic of other factions.
I mean, you can do it yourself, like that guy did.
100%.
And maybe that's what they're going with. But like, I would rather give me some more bits. You don't need to put them on the model that you're showing me, but give me some more bits. I want Tyranid heads. I want Orc heads. I want little skulls that I can put here and there. Battle markers, kill markers, things like that I can put on. I want more of that in my Tau. Let's 40k them up, please, because these are really cool looking models, but they do look like these look like gaming pieces rather than due to it in a battle right now, going to war sort of thing.
I do like the more modern take on the Tau's weaponry because I kind of
the fusion stuff.
I've always felt the Tau's, like especially the first wave plastics that they've had, the weapon aesthetics just did not do anything for me. So I do like this a bit more. It's a bit more believable. It's an aesthetic I prefer.
These look like killing weapons, rather than toys.
Yes, yeah, you know what? That's a good way to frame it. One gripe I have with this new unit, and it's in how the presenter spoke about them. They were very specific to mention that these are the two new stars in the Tau Empire, right? Farsight's kind of like a bad boy, so they don't like to put him front and center. Now it's about these two. For new product, buy me now. It's very convenient, but in lore it does make sense for that as well. But what I didn't like about how this was framed is they were very specific to say that these two heroes, they don't have a sept of their own. They can be played in anyone's army. And that really cheapens their identity as epic heroes, right? Like, I think, and this is something Games Workshop is pretty bad about, but they don't treat Xenos factions epic heroes with the same reverence they do for the Space Marines. And I think it's a huge mistake because it devalues their position, like they're standing in the lore, right? And it just seems problematic. I think if they presented these guys as, they're from, make up a sept, a brand new one, maybe a cool new color scheme, and they presented them in that color scheme, and obviously just like any unit, you can put them in your army and paint it however you like. That's pretty standard in the hobby. I think you'd have a much stronger identity for these two epic heroes, and also you'd probably have a couple people getting really excited because there's always a new unit or a new epic hero that resonates very hard with a certain group, and then they'd probably go and build the army, the new sept, right? Oh, I just love the new sept. It looks so good, and the new heroes, and I want to have an army led by the two new heroes. Like, I think you'd get some of that energy going. And now, when you don't give your epic heroes the same degree of like development in where they operate and sit in the world, I think it cheapens them.
I agree.
That's my piece on that.
I don't think that there's any. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I don't think there's anything more to say on that one. I think it's.
What do you feel about the robots, Maka?
I like them. I don't like the runes carved into them.
Is that what they are? I thought that was like a damage or something. Or no, they're, it's too uniform. It's only on the blue side. Yeah, you're right. They are some sort of design, some sort of alien sigils.
I am fine with the leather strapping woven through that kind of stuff. Yep, awesome. The rune stuff, easy enough to fix, because at least here, being relief carved, you can just fill it with putty and sand it back. It's not a big deal. Energy effects on the base looks like they're separate, so you can get rid of them. Awesome, happy with that. The drones, I like that style of drone a lot. So on the whole, I consider them pretty much a win.
Yeah,
right on. Yep, same.
Because unlike on the Nurgle, the sculpted in detail is not like, oh fuck, what am I going to do about it? It's pretty easy to deal with.
Yeah, if you don't like it, you can easily remedy those details away. Yep.
Yeah.
Like those new big shields they got. It's cool.
So I was surprised by the last guy here, the Tyranid Prime with Lash Whip.
Dude,
This got like a massive cheer from the crowd.
I don't see why. I don't know. I'm not.
I don't get it.
It's very annoying to me from a Tyranid unit perspective, because you have the Warrior Prime, which was its own unit with lots of war gear options. Build a bear kind of leader, like your captains of old, like your autarchs, I guess, still, luckily for them. And the Tyranid Warrior lost all of it and just got wings at the start of 10th edition. And that's your Tyranid Prime HQ choice, and you're like, oh, well, fuck me, I guess, right? And then now, this does not seem to be a multi-part kit, as far as I can tell. They've labeled it as a Tyranid Prime with Lash Whip. I don't know what fucking Tyranid Prime only has a Lash Whip. The classic loadout has always been Lash Whip and Bone Sword. Or if you're a real edgy boy, you take 2 Bone Swords, because you like to dual
that's
wield.
where the cheer came from, because it's always did not had a Lash Whip for so long. People were like, oh, great, it's got a Lash Whip. I mean, even the guy who was presenting the show, and it's the same thing, but it's now got a Lash Whip, and then it's moved on.
I do like Lash Whips, they're cool. It's just it's such a bizarre choice, and I can't wrap my head, so now we have to wait for the next Tyranid Prime variant, a different unit on its own that's going to have, now it has a Devourer. It's like, oh, okay, slowly but surely we're getting all the different options. It just baffles the mind. Yeah, so that's my piece on that. It's super annoying to me. Whatever.
Shall we do the main event?
Yes, it's the last tab, the last one. Oh,
yeah.
How could I forget?
Yeah.
How could I forget?
Yeah. So more Ultramarines, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't think you had enough Ultramarines in your life, then you were wrong.
Even the presenters felt the awkwardness of the timing, right? They had to.
They said it again. They did it again. They went, yeah, we know we're always bringing out Ultramarine stuff, but we like Titus, so here's some more Ultramarine stuff.
When they were given the briefing for it, they're like, oh shit, how am I going to spin this?
They knew. The same thing with Horus Heresy stuff before, with the books. They knew. They know. They're not stupid. They're like, yeah, you're going to be annoyed because the Horus Heresy, we're doing more. This is... Every single time I start to thaw on the Ultramarines, every single time I
just drag it back in, don't they?
Yeah. Every time I'm like, do you know what? I played Space Marine 2. It's pretty good. Maybe I'll make the Exiled Blades an Ultramarine Successor chapter. I mean, there's a lot of room to maneuver there, and then here we go again, and we're back, and it's not just any Ultramarine. It's Titus, who we've seen so much of. He's now the captain of the second company again. And not only that, he's going on a crusade throughout world that we've seen 1,000 times before, the 500 worlds of Ultramar, to reclaim them. Didn't you say Gilliman did that in the Indomitor? Never mind. Guess we're resetting that.
No,
so we do it again. And, I love worldwide campaigns. It's what really irks me. I love worldwide campaigns. I love little books like this. I might even get this book because I love, like, because you can use the campaign to do different things, not just one. You do it in 500 worlds, set the rules and stuff. I just wish it was somebody else. Just please, anybody, even Space Wolves. I don't care. Anybody else. Maybe not Space Wolves. They're good. No, yeah, them too.
Let's not go saying things you can't take back.
No, those two. Even Space Wolves. Give somebody else a campaign, please. We've seen this guy in video games. We've seen him everywhere. Like, okay, he's cool. Just release the miniature. Doesn't need to be a part of a grand campaign or anything. More Ultramarine stuff is not what we needed at the show. I love the Necron destroyers. I think they're really cool. Great.
Yeah.
The Nightbringer shard, great. Looks really good.
Look, I think if... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. The books look great.
Is that artwork of him next to him AI art?
Let me see here.
I'm not sure.
Have a look at his loincloth and all the random symbols.
Let's enhance.
Like it looks like a touched up AI artwork.
It could be. I've seen this kind of rendering in like other of their newer artworks. So it's if I had to guess, it's the same artist.
My main issues with the model itself. I've said it before. I don't like Watchmaster type model. I'm standing here, looking forwards. Like, it just, of all the poses you could do, he just looks tired. He just looks like he can't be bothered.
Is this the second Titus model we've got?
Yes.
Technically, yes. The other one is it'll be Legends or whatever. Like
two questions then.
Two
questions I've got for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
First, isn't this a non-canon character?
I think at this stage, he's a canon character. I think he's going to be a poster boy for various.
He's literally in the canon. Yeah, he is now the canon commander captain of the second company of the Ultramarines. He's the warden of Ultramar. So he's the guy who's basically running the show whilst Gilliman's off doing everybody else's work, because we can't have any other stories without Gilliman turning up. That is a specific rule in Space Marines. If you're fighting a campaign, Gilliman will be there.
The stories of Space Marine 1 and 2 were non-canon, but now they're canon because he's canon.
Yes, they are now canon.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Sure. Okay. I get, like, you want to cross-pollinate your franchises. Like, there are people who have played the game and they'll be like, now I want to play the tabletop because you've got the guy from the game. I understand this.
Right.
What I don't understand is that you can do things like this, but you still can't bring out, like, any unique characters for half of Chaos Space Marines, for example.
I don't disagree.
You know?
Yeah, I'll beat that drum forever.
It's like, if you want to talk, like, waste of resources, like, his whole new cadre in here with him. Nothing against the models. Let's just divorce ourselves from that. You go, if the Marines didn't get this range and they instead spent these resources elsewhere, would you, the poor Ultramarine player, have really missed out? Now, I get the feeling someone in the comments would be like, yes, damn it, I deserve this because
I bought Space Marines or Ultramarines.
Yeah, I've only had 8 chocolate sundaes, you know? And this is my 9th. And I'm a special boy. But, yeah, you think the finite resources the company has, like they could have bought him out on his own. Like you said, you know, cross-pollination, play the video game, now play with Titus yourself. Because seeing 100 of him in fucking Tales is going to be exciting, make me feel fucking immersed. But you can't, like this could have been, look at that, it could have been a Night Lord character, that could have been a Word Bearer's character.
100%.
You could have had an Alpha Legion character. You could have had an Iron Warriors character. You could have had Honsu. You know? I mean, fuck. The Uriel Ventress. We've got a Uriel Ventress model. We don't have a Honsu model. He's our main fucking, you know, the antagonist of that franchise. So it's disappointing purely from that avenue of like, hey, if you're going to devote the resources to just side projects that take your fancy like this, and you even know that there are people who are going to roll their eyes and groan at it, can't you throw a bone and just those little things for others. And like the Tyranid Prime, it's like just give it some extra fucking arms so you can build it a few other ways. Like throw people who aren't the Marines a bone, because if you did that, people wouldn't be Marine fatigued.
It's true, yeah, because everyone
if they drop this and you open this article and it was, oh great, Titus, and then right below it was like, hey, here is 40k Corferon, you'd be like, oh fuck,
yeah, 100%,
yeah,
yeah, you'd have no problem.
Yeah, that's what hurts it. Nothing to do with the sculpt. The sculpt is uninspired. His lackeys, I think, look better in the fur.
His lackeys look really
the
good.
Worst fur since Space Wolf's fur. This is you've got to add the texture yourself through your painting fur. And that's never a good idea with something that you're aiming at the normies who don't know how to paint. But I digress.
On the cross-pollination point.
Slap a contrast paint on it.
I just want to add to what you said there, Mac, on the cross-pollination. I find it very amusing that, I don't know if you guys saw this, but when Marneus Calgar got his latest modern model, a big contingent of the Calgar Defense Force online seemed to me to defend it. They defended the spend of those resources as, well, you see, Marneus Calgar was very popular because of the Space Marine 2 game, and so it just makes sense to give him a new model and depict him in a way that wasn't in the game, which is absurd as a defense or rationale. But now we fast forward to now, and we see this amount of cross-pollination, and I can't help but scoff in hindsight at such a weak defense of, this is the cross-pollination release, obviously. Marneus Calgar is just obligatory. It just amused me, that's all.
Yeah, I'm just strictly done with Ultramarines. I'm not an Ultramarine hater. I really am not.
Me neither. I defend them more than most.
Yeah, they're cool, man. Even from that point of view, I'm sorry, this is too much. That we are seeing way too much of these guys in models, in artwork, in animations. It's like we're not allowed anything else. The only thing we ever see is other chapters getting dicked on by Lucius the Eternal and stuff like that. We don't see anything like what happens with the Ultramarines. I get that they're the poster boys. I get that they're the main characters, quote unquote. That's fine. Have maybe 30-40% of your Space Marine stuff be about them. No problem with that. Right now we're sitting around 70 to 90% of it, which is way too much. And when you have your own people who are drinking the Kool-Aid, sitting on a stage saying, listen, guys, they're already in defense mode. They're already saying, listen, guys, we know we bring out a lot of Ultramarine stuff. But this is Titus, and we just thought it'd be cool to do some more Titus stuff. And you know what? They're not wrong. It is cool to have more Titus stuff. But you shouldn't have to have your spokesperson sitting there preempting the booze. They're literally going, listen, we know we're going to do more Ultramarine stuff right now, but please bear with us. No, you shouldn't have to say that. If you have to say that, you're doing it wrong. People should be pumped, going, great, more Ultramarines. Okay, cool. Because I've already got my stuff, right? I'm a Grey Knight player. I've already got my Primaris. Oh, no, I don't, do I? Because I'm still playing with models that are 15 to 20 years old, and, this is where we are. Every other chapter out there, they'll come and go. You get your Space Wolves that came out, gone. Here's your stuff right now. Now go away. Go away. Time for Ultramarines again. And I just am sick of them. And the main point here isn't just the models, it's the narrative focus. So the 500 world seems like a pretty cool thing. I may even get it because I like campaigns, but it's Ultramar again. When you've already told us Ultramar's fine because in the Indomitus Crusade, Guilliman made it safe first and then went from there, basically. So why are we doing this? You just reset the entire thing so you can tell another story about the Ultramarines walking around their own backyard. This is the most... If you could pick the most uninspired thing you could do from a brainstorming session, it would be crusading through the 500 worlds. Like, literally the most uninspired thing you could do. We've already had the Plague Wars. We've already had the Indomitus Crusade. And so that's 2 massive conflicts in Ultramar that have secured Ultramar. Now you want to do all 500 worlds with Titus, who's a character that we've seen for hundreds of hours now through gameplay and already has a nice model. You want to just do it all? It's ridiculous. It's oversaturation, and this is why they're so hated. I want to like Ultramarines. Please let me like Ultramarines. You're making it so difficult. Do anything else. The Ghoul Stars, the Halo Stars. The Ghoul Stars are right there. They're you could still have Ultramarines there. It's an Eastern Fringe. It isn't really, but it's up at the top. Do the Maelstrom, right? Let's do something with Huron Blackheart. Let's do something with him. Mm-hmm. Let's do the Storm of the Emperor's Wrath. Let's do. Why was the Devastation of Baal a book? That could have been an entire campaign of the Tyrannid just assaulting Baal and all the systems around it, and the Blood Angels trying to hold them off. There's so many stories you could tell, and you choose not to. You just do Calth again. Again. For the 3rd time. Even Armageddon. No, I don't want to go back to Armageddon. I've had enough of it. We've been there 4 times now? 4 times? It just irks me. You've got an entire galaxy to play in, and you choose to just sit in the corner of the sandbox and poke one bit of the sandbox. By the way, why are the Necrons here? Where were they then? If you've reconquered the 500 worlds twice now, why didn't you see any trace of these people? Is Gilliman just bad at his job? Why are these destroyers the worst kinds of Necrons? Yeah, the worst kinds of Necrons. By the way, Belisarius Cawl has several Necrons who have connections to the Destroyer Plague on his ship. Are you telling me he's had them there for 10,000 years and has not for once said, I think there's some destroyers around Ultramar, I think there's something going on over there. It just makes... You're bending over backwards to accommodate Ultramarines, just like you do with Space Wolves. And I just... I'm done. I just hate it. I really don't like it. And I love the Necron models. Congrats, Necron guys. You're going to be so happy with these. I like them. I think they look gnarly, and they're destroyers, so of course they look gnarly. But I want them to fight anybody else. Please have these guys invade an Eldarcraft world. Oh my god, that was so good. That Bealtan, Bealtan just go and invade the wrong world, and they unleash this the huge horde of destroyers, on this Necrosaur Amentar is out again, and he's so amazing, dude. Then you throw the Black Templars in there, and then and now you've got to sort of ally together, even though you hate each other. So good. But no, Ultramar again.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet. I mean, not willing to bet. It seems pretty clear that this is the first in a series of end of edition campaigns that you always get in 40K.
Yeah, I think this might end 10th. This might end 10th.
So, but I think it's 500 worlds, and this one's called Titus, so it implies pretty heavily to me that it'll be a couple publications.
It's a box set, isn't it, of different.
Yes, yeah.
Different things.
Well, I could be doing a bit of assuming here, but it feels to me very similar to Arcs of Omen, and then you have Abaddon's book, and then you have Angron's book, and then you have the Lions and Farsights, etc. Right? So I imagine we're going to get a couple more advancements of this little campaign, and I'm willing to bet every following one will be more interesting, just for the reasons you just described.
Even when they do shit like that, it doesn't go anywhere.
Oh yeah, it's what we've said before on this podcast. Everything is happening, but nothing happens. That's the energy in the room with Games Workshop lore advancements. I'm saying this in air quotes, but they're advancing the lore, but it's nothing happens, but everything's happening. And I think at this stage, like to the points you made about the 500 worlds in Ultramar, how many times is it falling and within the span of Gilliman's return? I don't even think they have a grasp on their timeline, right? I don't even know if we're gonna have the line interact with Gilliman at all in this. I'd be very surprised if we ever get a payoff on that.
That is absolutely A1. Like you can't do this with Titus when the Lion has not met Gilliman yet. Like this can't happen. Like we've had Dark Angels fans have been sitting there waiting for the Lion. What he's going to do with Luther? Luther's gathering all of the fallen to him.
Dude, what's he going to do with Cypher? There's like a lot to explore here. Like
what's going to happen? And
turns out not much.
No.
Yeah, it turns out nothing.
Because nothing happens, man. That's why. It's kind of...
They just sat there. like
wasted.
The Lion would rather have his own little commune out there, you know, and just do his own little thing because Mike Brooks is writing for him now. And that's it. That's it. We don't hear any more of the Lion. He comes in, he bitch slaps Angron, and then just disappears, just leaves, just walks around, you know.
And the new Lion, I bring you hugs. He's just nothing like the old Lion.
Ugh. I don't mind a bit of redemption. I quite like what they did with the Perturabo. Like he's pretty chill now. He's turned into a demon prince, but he's like more chill than ever. He's just awesome. Like he's actually a good boss. Like people choose to follow him. Like it's like, yeah, that's cool. He's shown character growth. I like it. You know, but he's still not to be fucked with. You know, but with the Lion, it's not that way at all.
Let John French find out.
Yeah, exactly. But then you got the Lion right there, and not everything has to be about Primarchs. I'm not saying that. I don't think anyone here is saying that. But saying with that in mind, the Lion came back at what? At the end of 9th, was it? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And we're now at the end of 10th, and he's done diddly squat for nothing. He's come back and forgiven some of the fallen, and then walked around the forest for a bit. And he beat up Angron. But everybody beats up Angron because that's what he's there for, right? Unfortunately. So, you know, he's done nothing, and the one thing I really liked about Lion coming back is that you have the unremembered empire again. That dichotomy.
It's nice, right? Like it's a payoff of things that were set up.
Why can't we have the Ultramarines about to get devastated, and then the Lion turns up with a united Dark Angels Legion?
Oh,
they're all in different colours. They're all in different colours, obviously different chapters, but he just turns up, right, just like Imperium Secundus, and he's there, and he's like, right, okay, and that's when they meet. You know, that would be cool. But no, here's your video game character that we're going to have for the next 500 worlds. Piss off. Honest to God. Just... No. Again, it doesn't always have to be about Primarchs, but it's going to bring them back.
It could be the case that this campaign series ends with such a climactic, epic showdown, a reunion, if you will, but very doubtful. I feel like it's just going to be a vehicle for selling a few new characters that are updated. I feel like Karandris, you know the outliers. Like as you do with all these end edition campaigns, it's all character vehicles, right? At the end of an edition.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, bit of a lame duck on the campaign. Kind of a non-starter.
It is. But it is where we are.
Yep.
And you know, but they told on themselves a few times. That was the funniest bit. Was that they literally were just like, yeah, the Horus Heresy was a load of shit, and yeah, we do too many Ultramarines, but here's some more. And all right, well, at least the mask is off. I guess there's that. You know.
Sure. I guess anything to add, Macca? I think we're about ready to wrap up.
No, I just feel like I come across as super, super salty, but I mean, I am to a degree, but I've been sitting here drawing like a lot of 3D models, right? I was sharing one with you guys earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I generally think, because sold fucking 2,200 of them, and that's not including the free miniatures I've made along the way. So clearly, I've resonated with someone that they think, you know what, your designs are okay. Right? You're no Games Workshop, but they're okay. So I feel like I've got enough of an idea about what people want to see. So I get really annoyed when it's like, how come I'm seeing or feel that I'm seeing what a theme of a faction or something like that should look like? And how come the company's not? And it's like, you know, there's an established design aesthetic. As long as you nail it, it's free money.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Mm-hmm. But the problem is they don't. They don't quite nail it. And it's like, if it was, I think a lot of these sculpts, if it was a third-party sculptor making them,
they wouldn't.
And not Games Workshop, it wouldn't sell. You know, like you've got to be in touch with what you've got to be in touch with what your audience wants, right? And I feel that, or you just won't sell. And I feel like Games Workshop is just very lucky that their audience is so captive that they're like, yeah, we're going to buy it anyway, although it's pretty fucking mediocre. And if it was like the knockoff brand Battle Mace and not Warhammer 40,000, it would not sell. And that goes for a lot of their products. Mm-hmm. Personal opinion, of course, but yeah, I feel like that's the sort of situation we're in, where it's like, yeah.
I find that agreeable. I mean,
yeah, I don't feel great about saying it that way, but it's like, no, if it didn't have Games Workshop's name attached to it, I don't think a lot of these would do as well as they will. Because they will do just fine, because people will just gobble it up because it's Games Workshop. People are not got a reputation for being very discerning customers in this hobby. Let's call it what it is.
Nope, it's
absolutely,
it's very fair. It's a point we've all kind of levied in different words.
So I don't feel great about saying it though. So I don't want to insult people, make them feel like, oh, you're not allowed to like the thing you like or something like that. So, no,
everyone's allowed to like what they, 100%. Like,
you know, and you're not dumb for liking what they put out. Yeah,
we started the old video with that. Like you didn't like something, and you just said, well, here's my rationale, and then we move on. It's not a, you know, it's not a huge thing.
No, but people tie up their own identity. Again, don't hate me for this, but a lot of people tie up their own identity in their models. It's like they're just toys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, don't tie your self-worth to toys.
Yeah, it is interesting. I think, if I had to guess, it's totally off topic, but we're kind of done talking about the topic. This is after hours at this point. I think it has to do with the creative component of the hobby. I don't think you get that same connection with... I think it's the acting of building and painting your guys, and then you feel like there's some... You know, you've created something, right? So there's a bit more of that attachment. And I think that creates the desire to blindly like and blindly be excited. It's like, I must be excited, all right? Because this is me. This is who I am. That kind of energy. Yeah. If I had to guess, you know, I'm not a psychoanalyst or anything.
No, I gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty on the money.
Would you say we're reaching a conclusion?
I think so. Well, we're gonna. I mean, I have Saturday for me, so I have time. So it's your call.
No, I think I'm taking my kids to a Christmas market in a bit, so I'm gonna be doing that in a sec.
Alrighty, then
let's
wrap it up. All right.
Dog's asleep at my feet. I haven't Hassan Piked him.
That's good. Nice. All right, well, Yeah, I guess this wraps up I don't even know what number we're on, but it wraps up this episode of Grimdark Therapy.
I feel like it's something like 21.
Nice.
Something like
It's
that.
something like that, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, anything you guys want to plug over on your end? Anything's going on?
No, I think by the time this comes out, I would have done my own video on the reveals, so I'll be recording that later. And that's about it. Hobby Nightmares every week, all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, all good.
I, on the other hand, am not going to talk about the reveals. I've said my piece here about how much I disapprove. And I instead will be talking about why I haven't given the new Heresy a chance, because that question has come up a bit over on my channel.
Oh.
Like people say, oh, it's legitimately good. Why wouldn't you just play it?
That'll be an interesting one.
Have to explain why. So that's going to be the next video that drops. I've got a bunch of 3D printing stuff. Like I'm testing out that Reflex Hey Gears Turbo RS. They sent me out that to trial. They're going to pay me as well, I should mention.
Oh, cool.
To review that. And I said no, because you're already sending me a 3D printer that's already potentially like muddying the waters of my opinion. You know, if I want to be unbiased, like at the least, don't pay me.
Yeah, you know
So
what?
that also makes me think, though, that a lot of other people have been offered the same thing, so they probably got paid. So, not that I haven't had it. I've actually had very, very positive experience with the printer. Really good resin printer. I've enjoyed using it a lot. But it does cloud other creators using it, because it's like, well, I know you probably got something for your review beyond just the machine itself.
You're not wrong. You're more like.
And I'm always iffy when I know that that's happened. You know, I get the same way with like Warhammer content creators when they talk about like, oh, here's, you know, this edition of the game, here's this thing, I think it's really good, and da-da-da. And it's like, yeah, but why are you saying that? You know, well, you got something out of this. You've got something to gain, or, you know, your channel's income is derived purely off this hobby. I get very sus on it.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, I get really sus on it.
No,
I've really tried not to be that person for a long time. Like, I don't do sponsorships, as you guys know. I don't do any paid sponsorships or adverts or any of that kind of thing. I don't have anything against it. It's just my own personal integrity barrier where I'm like, if I avoid it, I can't be tempted by it.
I can appreciate that. Integrity. It's good.
Yeah. So it's like that joke, you know, like there's these two women at the Walmart, and they're pulling a bit of a trick. You see, they say, you know, we'll give you a blowjob, but while one of them's doing the blowjob, the other one steals your wallet. Anyway, I've been robbed 4 times this week, but you can actually get wallets for very, very cheap.
Well, that's a wrap on this collaborative hobby chat. If you enjoyed this video, there are buttons for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And as always, a special thanks to Julius Maximus, as well as my other generous patrons and channel members. Patrons and channel members get early access to videos. Just a little something for those who help keep the dream alive. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.